and welcome to BBC News here in the Midlands. I'm Rachel Coburn. Now, Christmas is just around the corner and it's the peak time for food suppliers, but here in the Midlands, some local food producers have a fight on their hands, competing against supermarkets. But it seems they're not giving up and they're even giving the supermarkets a run for their money. Here's Josh Henson.
In the run-up to Christmas, farm shops have seen their businesses being revitalised with the return of Christmas hampers and mince pies. I went to Chadbury Farm Shop in Evesham to find out more. A classic Christmas present has always been a hamper full of food and drink. For local farmers, the hampers have been a great source of income. We found out what the creators of these gifts think.
A hamper is really good because it's got like a bit of everything in it. Alcohol, biscuits, sweet biscuits, savoury biscuits, patty, jams and chutneys, so it's got a bit of everything. You can't really not like it, but some people do. You can pick your own hampers anyway. We make them for customers as well.
The mince pies are being packed and Christmas is coming. Farm shops aren't quite as busy as they used to be because people are using supermarkets to save money, but it seems the little shops still have more to offer, especially when the money is tight.
There's a lot of people in this area, they value the local produce, so a lot of people go to the farm shops because it's local produce, and a lot of it's better produce as well, so some of it's organic and people value that. So I know a lot of people that would prefer going to farm shops than the supermarkets.
Even with the economic struggle, the apple juice is still flying off the shelves. Josh Henson, BBC Wales Today, Evesham. Who doesn't love a Christmas hamper with a cold glass of freshly squeezed apple juice? Back to you, Rachel.
Thanks, Josh. A hairdressing salon in Cardiff has introduced a quiet chair for people who don't want to talk while they're getting their hair styled. It's aimed at giving the customer a chance to relax, but what will happen to the secrets that are usually shared in a salon? Maisie Smith-Walters has more.
Hairdressers often get told secrets, but some customers don't want to talk. But what do hairdressers think of this? I went to Evesham to find out.
Half of hairdressing is being able to have a rapport.
For some people, getting their hair cut is a chance to relax, but a salon in Cardiff has decided to introduce a quiet chair. Talking to customers has now gone from an integral part of the experience to something that is being questioned by hairdressers.
I think it could be a good thing in terms of some customers genuinely don't want to be chatted to, but then equally saying that, if you're a good hairdresser, you will pick up on who wants to chat and who doesn't.
So the common sense of the stylist could be considered, but it isn't always down to the hairdresser to decide. Customers normally build up a relationship with their stylist, and for some customers, the social interaction is one of the highlights of their trip to the salon.
For one, you don't know what you'd turn out like, would you, if you couldn't talk to your hairdresser? But no, I think it's that part of going to the salon, isn't it? Talking and have a good natter, especially for people that are elderly or live on their own and don't have much contact with people. It would be horrible.
So while some like to get their hair cut in silence, these customers wouldn't come to this salon if they were forced to keep quiet. Maisie Smith-Walters for BBC News in Evesham.
So to speak or not to speak, thousands of people are having their say on social media. Go to the BBC News website to find out more.
We've come to the stage where cars are able to drive and park themselves with a simple touch of a button. Now mechanics have to adapt to new technology on almost a daily basis. So how do traditional mechanics in small rural towns keep up with the evolution of cars? Here's our reporter Amir Ahmed.
Cars have existed for over 100 years. The rate at which they are changing at is getting quicker and quicker. I've come to Avon Motors to find out just how mechanics are adapting to this change.
It is fair to say cars have dramatically changed over the last 20 years. Some things have stayed the same like wheels, but what they are attached to is something completely different. Avon Motors is a garage based in Evesham.
We've gone away from old style carburetors that feed the fuel into something like the Volvo over there, which is now what we call fuel injected, so that the fuel is measured in quantities and put in at certain times.
Dealing with a range of different cars, the mechanics at this garage have had to adapt to new technology. Rather than mechanics having to take parts of the car off, Computers have helped them recognise the problem.
As for fixing them, that's changed completely. We're now more reliant on actually plugging into the vehicle and extracting any information from that vehicle. We can then look at see under certain parameters as what it's doing and when it's doing it, and why it's not doing it.
It's hard to say what the future is for cars, as technology is going at such a rapid rate. Will we one day see cars drive without wheels?
So the future is really how much longer is the hybrid engine going to go on? How much have we got in reserve for fuels? You know, that's a big question at the moment. Is it going to be then onto full electric cars? At the moment, they haven't got the range.
Also, you cannot drive long distances in a full electric car. I've been Amir Ahmed reporting for BBC Evesham.
It's fair to say Avon Motors will be repairing cars for years to come. But how technology will form these cars is still yet to be known.
From the future back to the past, or is it really back to the future? For one woman, a small shop in Evesham holds the secrets of the past as well as a glimpse into the future. Ruby May Raymond can tell us more.
For the past 7 years, Sue Traynor has connected with the spirit world in the future and past through her ghost walks in Evesham, starting at her own front door with a man that lived there over 100 years ago.
Well, in 1863, I think it is, there was a doctor that lived in this house, and he's never left, and he makes himself known quite regularly. He'll throw things around. We've even heard a voice say the odd word like no and get out, the usual sort of things they say. So we have people from all over the country come and do ghost hunts here and try and connect with the doctor. We don't make most of our income from the shop anyway. Most of it comes from tarot readings, tarot parties, events, demonstrations, ghost hunts. So yeah, the shop varies, but our other life is quite active really. It was something I'd wanted to do from a child, and I met my husband in 2005, I think it was, and he had experience in working in shops and things, so we both decided that we would give it a go.
So if you'd like to give it a go, see what the future holds for you, or maybe even the past.
Ruby May Raymond, thanks very much. Some people count down the days until retirement, but this is not the case for one Evesham woman who has been running a farm for over 60 years and has no plans to stop. Over that time, she's owned hundreds of horses and trained thousands of people to ride. I went to speak to her earlier.
I won Farmer of the Year 2015. Probably was because of my age, and I'd been at it so many years. But there were 800 entries, so I think I was jolly lucky to get number one. Yeah. I was born in 1932, came here in 1964. I've got 7 great-grandchildren and 5 great-great-grandchildren. So I've been with animals all my life, farming all the time. But I love the outside rather than inside. We've got about 74 horses at the moment. We think we've had over 1,000 on the premises in our lifetime, and they all got names. I've written a book, and there's 700 names in the back of the book of all the horses that have been here. So it's been quite a lot. It's been a very interesting life.
Well, an interesting life indeed. And that's all from BBC News. Do join us again tomorrow. Goodbye.